Hit record, and then we will fill for a minute, and then we will start the show. I already hit record. It's crazy how that works. Vampire Survivors had not only an update that added a bunch of stuff that dropped today, but they also dropped a free DLC that's
Cool.
based
What
on
was it about?
the Saga series.
What's that?
Uh, a Square Enix franchise that isn't Final Fantasy
Final
or
Fantasy.
Dragon Quest. But it's free, so I don't care if I've never heard of it. I mean, I've heard of the Saga series, but I've never played any. I think I owned one of the early ones on the PS1, Saga Frontier, I think. But it's called Emerald Diorama. It's like, that's a cute little name. And now the hiccups have kicked in. Come on, man. Ooh, excuse me.
If I have to.
Okay. That has been a minute and change. So here we go. Ow, jam. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Mana Pool. This is, I hope, episode 721 of the Mana Pool. It is. Okay, good. And I am Chewy.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, I am. I got these other dorks here, too, but we don't talk about them. Oh, wait, yeah, we do. Who are you people? What are you doing here? Get out of my apartment.
Hey, I'm Brian. I'm not in your apartment as far as you know. And I'm here to be the lead rambler and tangent master of the group. And if you thought I talked a lot on a regular episode, preview episodes, I just go nuts. So get ready to talk about dragons. This time,
I'm Mike. I'm the BlueSky and the Game Lore guy. I am also not in Chewy's apartment as far as Brian knows. And I don't have a second joke to tell.
And
Falling
I'm
down
Dirk,
on
the
the job.
self-proclaimed greenest man alive and moral compass of the group. And I'm the peanut butter that is in between your grains of carpet. I am Dirk Trimble.
Darkwing Duck. Oh,
Darkwing Dirk. When there's trouble,
Dirkwing
you
Duck.
call DW.
Dirk Wing Duck.
I like
Anyway,
it.
put it on a T-shirt.
sort of sorry I let you all introduce yourselves now.
That'll teach you.
You'd think. Hey, somebody just resubbed. It was Dirk.
Awesome.
Yay. 42 months. Good Lord. So, last episode, we talked about the new set, which is called Tarkir Dragonstorm. And we talked about, as far as I remember, 0 dragons.
Nope, not a single one.
And that's a problem. So we were going to do it last week. And then Brian got sick and died. I was like, we can't do a dragon episode without Brian. That's just wrong. And
Yeah.
the other two were like, yeah.
You could have, but I get it. Luckily, the cemetery was oversold, so I'm back.
I see what you did there.
Thank you.
I didn't say it was good.
No, neither did I. So we're gonna talk about some dragons, I assume.
Good Lord. I'm going to cough up a lung. Apologies.
Hey,
Um,
rule number one.
I know, right? I like the way I'm the
So,
one who came up with these rules, and yet everyone keeps reminding me. Ugh.
so there is a cycle of mythic dragons. If you recall, when we talked about the story last time, Narset and each of the khans of the clans to defeat the elder dragons, like Silumgar, raised the spirit dragons. And each clan has a spirit dragon, so they're all mythic, and they kind of embody the best aspects of that clan. Even the uh uh oh, what's the evil one? They're not evil, but like the black, green, blue one. The
The Sultai clan.
oh, thank you. Even the Sultai one is it's less about getting one up on everybody else and more about like justice and fairness. And
Aha,
these are pretty nifty, and we didn't talk about any of them.
they're all in gold.
So they're all in gold. For example, Bator has like so many words on it. So I'm just gonna start reading it
Those are a
if we're
lot of
good.
words.
Bator, kin to all for the Abzan. For two, a white, a black, and a green, because Abzan. But still, for 5 mana, is a 5/7 with flying, legendary spirit dragon. And 5/7 for 5 is already not bad with flying. At the beginning of your end step, pay attention to this. If creatures you control have total toughness 10 or greater, draw a card. And yes, that does include his 7. So it's not hard to get to. Then, if creatures you control have total toughness 20 or greater, untap each creature you control.
Oh,
Then, if creatures you control have total toughness 40 or greater, each opponent loses half their life, rounded up.
oh,
Is Commander stalling out?
not for long.
Not for long.
Yeah. I do really like that this wasn't a design where the third thing was something ridiculous win the game.
Yeah.
Because those are just really anticlimactic sometimes.
It is. And this is really good, but it's not an automatic win.
Hmm.
It,
I mean, it's pretty close.
so I did not go to a pre-release because, dying or dead, but I've played Arena a lot, and I did like 2 sealed events and a couple drafts, and I've opened this guy. He was in my first sealed, and I'm like, yeah, this seems good. And there's lots of ways in this set to get +1/+1 counters. So yeah, he pretty much always was drawing me a card. I had yet to get to the 20 or the 40, but that's in a duel. I imagine in multiplayer, assuming he doesn't die on the spot. I like this. I like this a lot.
Right.
I, I'm I am very Abzan. So
Hey, remind me real quick.
just
In Two-Headed Giant, you and your teammate are both you, right?
For the purposes of controlling things, no. You share a turn and you share a life total, but you don't share control of objects on the battlefield.
Oh, that's too bad.
yeah. I think for it to do what you're thinking of, it would have to say something like, if
It'd
you
have to
and
mention
teammates, yeah.
Yes. Hmm.
Oh well.
But I see where you're going, and I like it. Now Dirk is very much a teamer guy, isn't he? I think we discovered Dirk is very teamer.
Yeah, I think Teamer was the one that I kind of floated towards
Yeah.
because it was either
It's got
Teamer or it was the snake one. It was the blue, green, black.
mhm.
Was one
But
Teamer or that one?
I will say teamer is more about play big guys smashy face. So, and I'm not saying you're a mindless brute, but I think you like big smashy face. And the Teamer Dragon is insane.
What the
I mean,
hell is
all
the
of these are
Teamer
good.
Dragon? I can't find it.
It's called Urani. Ureni. Ureni. The song
Oh,
unending. Hey,
because
Dirk.
it's down here in the U's. Brian is not
Okay,
going
there.
alphabetically, and that bothers me.
Sorry.
I noticed that too.
Well, I knew Dirk would like this guy because insane.
All right. So Urini, the song unending, for 5 green, blue, red. Is a legendary creature, spirit dragon. That's a 10/10. Has flying, protection from white and from black. So the
Oh,
2 colors that are not in the cost.
Which
The art is awesome.
They don't do protection almost anymore these days.
Very rare.
oh yeah, that's right.
Well, and I mean that'd be cool right there, but that's not it. Also says when Urini enters, it deals X damage divided as you choose among any number of target creatures and or planeswalkers your opponents control, where X is the number of lands you control.
Ooh.
Mm.
Well, you would assume that there's at least 8?
At least. If
At
not
least
a
8.
lot more because you're in ramp colors.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
And even if you've only got 6, because you have a mana rock and a mana elf or something, still.
Yeah, just throwing out 6 damage divided as you choose seems pretty good.
It
And
is
keeping
very good.
on a 10/10 that is resistant from or has protection from 2 of the best removal colors.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like you
having
use
10
that 6
toughness.
damage to take out the 4/4 flyer that could block it once, and then you go.
Having 10 toughness also makes it pretty resistant to green and red removal too.
It's true. Oh, that lightning bolt isn't looking so good now. Oh, but you can't swords to plowshares this, can you? No. Also important. Also means, especially in a multicolored set, that any multicolor removal that has black or white in it also doesn't work.
Right.
So, yeah.
That is definitely big dumb smashy smashy, yeah. I like it. Well, on the
if
same
you look
road
at-
here, we've got the Sultai one.
Yeah. This is a chewy one. Well, no, it's kind of Mike.
It's kind of both of us.
It is.
Mostly
It is.
Mike, though,
I
yeah.
don't know how I
It's like if Mike and Chewie had a dragon baby.
So you take it, Mike, because it seems to favor you more than me.
It does have your
Yeah. I'm not sure how I feel about it, but it is
He's got your
interesting.
beard.
Yeah.
It does.
Teval, Arbiter of Virtue. For 2 and a black, a green, and a blue. So 5 mana for a 6/6 with flying and lifelink. That's a good rate. Spells you cast have delve. So as a reminder, that was a mechanic introduced with the Sultai. It was introduced in Future Sight, but it came into its own with the Sultai and original Khans of Tarkir. And that means while you're casting a spell with delve, you can exile cards in your graveyard to pay for the generic mana portion of the cost. So flying lifelink spells you cast have delve, but whenever you cast a spell, you lose life equal to its mana value.
And keep in mind, even if you're reducing what you have to pay for the spell using delve, say you exile 2 cards in your graveyard to make something cost 7, cost 5, you're still paying 7 life.
Yeah.
I've seen a couple of these in draft, and sometimes they end up killing the other person because, yes, it's a 6/6 with flying and lifelink, and that's how you pay for these spells. And don't get me wrong, it's a great card, but sometimes they're like, and I'm gonna follow up with, and you can tell even on Arena, there's an uh-oh, because they realize I can't pay for this spell or I will die. So this one is
Yeah.
not. This one is very, 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 very good, but you can't overlook the drawback.
Yeah, that check on
Yeah.
its power is a really good check.
You have to be
Well-
attacking with Teval, or you're going to lock yourself out of the game if you don't have a steady stream of life coming from something else.
Yeah. I mean, other lifelink stuff, you are in black and green, so you can find other ways to gain life. But, yeah. But I think if you don't have that, then spells you can you cast have delve is just too busted on its own. It just is.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. This needed to have some sort of some sort of check, and like I said, what they've come up with here is actually quite elegant. I like it.
Yeah. I do too.
Because, like, the 6 lifelink is really good, especially with the flying, you know,
great.
to get around things. But what you want to be doing with Delve is either casting really big things for cheap or casting lots of little things, and you can only do so much of that, even with gaining 6 life a turn.
Mhm.
Yeah.
This is, I really like the design here.
Yeah. I like it too.
All right, let's
So that
see here.
that leaves the Jeskai one, which is good, but another kind of interesting one, and it leaves the Mardu one, which is kind of insane. I
Ooh,
feel like the
ooh, ooh.
Mardu one is very chewy.
Yeah, where is that? Oh, here it is.
Nariv. Yeah.
Oh, hey,
It's the
that's
background.
who I have accidentally as the background for us here. Look at that.
Yeah.
All right, Nariv, Heart of the Storm, for 1 and a Mardu. Wow. So 1, a red, a white, and a black, is a 4/5 with flying for 4 mana. Okay. If a creature you control that entered this turn would deal damage, it deals twice that much damage instead. Oh. So things with haste is obviously the first thing that comes to mind.
Yeah.
But also things like, I don't know, Ureni.
Yeah.
Or the mobilized tokens.
Or the
mobilized tokens.
Oh, yeah.
The
Flame
mobilized
tongue-
tokens. Yeah.
Flame Tongue Kavu. Anything with an enters the battlefield effect.
Whee!
Because Flame Tongue Kavu wasn't seeing play lately, you know? Maybe
Yeah,
because it
someone-
hasn't been reprinted in a long time.
Someone recently, it might have been in the Discord. I can't remember, but somewhere recently I saw someone ask if Flame Tongue Kavu was printed today, would it even be good? And my honest answer was, I don't think it would see any play at all.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like it's Ravenous Chupacabra with 2 more power, but can't kill everything. So it's an interesting question. I don't
But
know. I
it's
don't
in
think it would be a
red,
big
not
deal.
black. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, if it dealt 8.
But yeah, like, Nariv is really, it's really cool with a super narrow subset of cards, but with that super narrow subset of cards, it's freaking stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Did
made-
Gary do damage, or was he life loss?
Good question. Let's see here.
Sorry, when I say Gary, for those of you that don't know, that's the Gray Merchant of Asphodel. But
Yeah.
somewhere
Gary,
along the line, I don't remember if it was us or if we just saw it on the internet, but I know on Monday Night Magic we decided his
Lose
name was
Life.
Gary, Merchant of Asphodel.
Yeah, Lose Life.
Oh, that's too bad.
That is too bad.
As if Gary wasn't good enough, I'm trying to make him better.
Yeah, good job, man. The
What's really funny is that if you give Neriv haste, then that applies to himself.
That's right.
It's true.
So 4 mana swing for 8. Yeah, that seems all right. Assuming, something.
Does
doesn't cost mana.
Pandemonium deal the damage, or does the creature deal the damage?
I was just checking that. The creature deals the damage. Pandemonium makes the creature deal the damage.
That's what I thought.
Sweet.
But the one that's not Pandemonium is the one that does the damage itself, right? I can't remember. Some kind of assault?
I know what you're talking about, but I don't remember the name of it.
The one where it's just you and not everything.
Yeah.
Thunder something.
Storm?
What?
Shoot. Did it have Storm in the name?
I honestly cannot remember. I thought it was something assault, but I'm probably misremembering.
I'm seeing a red enchantment that costs 5 and 1 red, and it's got a bunch of Viking guys and some kind of lightning storm.
That is the thing that's in my head as well. Yeah.
Let me look it up.
Hey, that Frosty was pretty good.
Nice.
Awesome.
I hope me scraping the cup wasn't too loud in the microphone. Sorry about that. I didn't realize that until just now.
I heard something, but I wasn't sure what I was hearing.
But anyway, well, as cool as Neriv is, he's, again, super narrow.
Yeah.
While Mike looks that up, you want to read the other one there, Brian?
Sure. We've got the Jeskai one in.
Yeah, there it is.
It's Shiko, Paragon of the Way. This is the way. For 2, a blue, a red, and a white, because, Jeskai, is a 4/5. So with flying and vigilance, which I think is important. It doesn't tie into the ability at all, but it's a 4/5 with flying and vigilance. That's pretty good for 5. When Shiko enters, exile target non-land card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard. Copy it, then you may cast the copy without paying its mana cost. And as a reminder, a copy of a permanent spell becomes a token. So, you can, as long as it's not a land, you can cast it. And this is good. This is very, very good. It's essentially getting a free buyback on a cheap spell. And again, when that's done, you have a 4/5 with flying and vigilance. This also automatically will trigger any of your Jeskai flurry abilities, the ones that are when you cast your second spell this turn, because Shiko's a spell, and then whatever you copy, you are casting the copy. So for 5 mana, you get the 4/5 dragon and the spell, and whatever flurry triggers you've got. So this one is a bit wide open in its application, and almost to the point that I'm like, I can see doing a lot of neat stuff with it, but I don't know if I think of any one particular thing. Thoughts?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's fine.
Since it's a one-off effect, and it's got that limit on it, it's cool. And it's cool that it can copy copy of a permanent spell.
That I did not twig.
Yes.
Oh, look, it's in the reminder. I did not read the reminder text at all. Okay, that goes up a couple notches in my brain then. And it's Warstorm Surge.
Ah.
Yeah, I just found it. Warstorm
Yeah,
Surge.
and it's the creature that deals damage there too. Huh. Anyway, sorry. I had to catch. It's been reprinted so many times in mostly a bunch of Commander stuff, it looks like.
Yep, Commander set.
Wow.
Oh, it was even in the Warhammer 40k set. Cool.
That's a lot. Anyway, sorry. But yeah, it's like you get a 4/5 flyer and a free something or other.
Yeah, I like it. I'm not saying I don't. I just like you can do so much stuff with it that I'm like, do the things.
You could get a free skirmish rhino because that thing only costs 3. What?
Yes, you could.
Sorry,
Yeah,
the rhino's right
the-
next to it, and I was like,
Yeah, Siege Rhino's little brother.
yeah.
At uncommon.
So while we're here, for a white, a black, and a green, it's a 3/4 rhino with trample at uncommon. And when it enters, each opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. Is that good enough?
It's pretty cool.
I have no idea what standard looks like these days, so I have no idea if that
I don't either.
is fast enough or has, enough oomph. I don't even remember what Siege Rhino actually fully did.
Well, Siege Rhino costs 1 more, cost 4, and it was a 4/5, and the life gain and life loss was 3.
Oh, okay.
And it also had trample, and it was format defining.
Oh yeah, we all remember what a pain in the butt Siege Rhino was.
Yeah,
I remember
it was so good against what was happening in standard at the time that not only was there, a dominant Abzan deck, but every deck was a dominant Abzan deck. There was Abzan blue, there was Abzan red, there was Abzan, there was fast Abzan, there was slow Abzan, and in every single deck for Siege Rhino.
Yes. And that was the season where they decided to extend standard by about 6 months. And people were like, oh, that's cool. And I'm like, no, you don't understand. Do you like Siege Rhino? Because get used to seeing Siege Rhino for another 6 months. And they were like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, so what they did was they dropped everything on this card by 1. So like the cost is 1 less, the power and toughness are both 1 less. The life swing is 1 less going each way, and the rarity is 1 less.
Yeah.
But like a 6-point life swing, especially, 4 times or more, depending on what was in the deck, is huge. A 4-point life swing. This is going to sound really stupid, but 4 is less than 6, which obviously.
What?
But 4 is less than 6 in a much bigger way in Magic when it comes to, life total swing.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure. And I'm sure by the time this goes out, that will be decided already. It's probably been decided already, but I hope the little guy gets, someone gives him a try though, because look, he's trying so hard. I could be format defining too. Okay, little buddy.
I mean, he is cheap. So. I always appreciate a good cheap date creature.
Also, the 4/5, I think, is a lot bigger deal than 3/4. Again,
It's a big
like,
difference.
yes, obviously that's bigger, but it 4 toughness, the jump from 4 toughness to 5 toughness is big in Magic. Just, in a vacuum. There are a lot of things that deal 4 damage. There are not many things that deal 5, like spell-wise.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when Roast was printed in Dragons of Tarkir, that made a huge difference.
Remind me what that does?
For 1 and a red, it's a sorcery that deals 5 damage to a target creature without flying.
Oh, yeah. All right, then. So that's the Spirit Dragon cycle and a bonus Rhino. There are rare dragons up in the monocolors.
Well, one thing real quick. Do we want to do Call the Spirit Dragons? Since we're on the Spirit Dragons.
Oh, yeah, we should do that.
Okay.
So what does that do, Dirk?
So for Wooburg, it's a mythic enchantment that says dragons you control have indestructible.
Buh.
I mean, there we go. But that's not all. It says at the beginning of your upkeep, for each color, put a +1/+1 counter on a dragon you control of that color. If you put +1/+1 counters on 5 dragons this way, you win the game.
Oh.
So it's kind of like a hokey little win condition, but unlike something like, what is it, Coalition Victory, you don't just win the game when it resolves. This is an upkeep trigger, so you actually have to work a bit. Now, the opponent can't easily disrupt your plans because your creatures are indestructible.
Yeah.
But you still have to work a bit. And you know what's not indestructible?
Bounce.
This thing.
Oh. Oh. Is it weird? I didn't even think about getting rid of this. That's dumb. That's how you beat the upkeep trigger things, is by destroying the thing before it triggers.
You can also bounce, like you said. So, like, all right, you guys, this is fun. I gotta go do laundry. I'll see you later.
Okay, so at the beginning of your upkeep, for each color, so if you have,
Okay, so if you have Baitor Kin to All out, and that's your only dragon, then you can put three counters on him. Because for what?
Wait, yes, sorry, I misread it.
Because for white, you put it on a dragon that's white, which is him. And then for black, you put it on a dragon that's black, which is him. And then for green, you put it on a dragon that's green, which is him.
That was what I was wondering, is if that meant you had to have a dragon of each color.
Yeah.
You have to have
not the
5
dragons, but you had to have the 5 mana colors.
Yeah, but they have to be 5 different dragons to actually get the win the game. So if you had Betor and you also had the Teamer one, which would cover blue and red for you. If you just had them, yes, you get to distribute 5 total counters between them.
Yep.
But you aren't doing it to 5 dragons, so you don't get to win the game.
Right. Yeah, sorry. For the win condition, it's 5 different dragons. It's not 5 counters. But for not the win condition, the instant win is you can pile them all on the same dragon if you like, for each color that applies.
So are you allowed? So when the next term comes around, do you do this again?
Yeah, because it's the beginning of your upkeep.
So 2 rounds in, you potentially could do this, assuming you had 5 dragons out. So if Beltor and a bunch of black white dragons is all you have, you're going to get 3 counters the first time, and then you would get 3 more the second time.
Oh.
Yeah, but that's a check that's happening like as the trigger is resolving. It's not something that
Yeah.
it's
It
not
means-
saying if it's not counting up a running total for the game.
Yeah. It's saying if you put counters on 5 dragons, this trigger. Not 5 dragons over the course of the game.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have to do it in 1 turn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To win. Now, you can pile up counters, like I said, every turn. If you've only got, 3 colors covered, you could pile up counters for as long as you want until you win the game by beating your opponent to death.
But I'm just looking at that's how the wording is. I'm trying to figure out in the wording how it says that. If you put on counters this way.
Well, yeah, this way means doing what I just said. It doesn't mean using this process at any other point in the game. It's like if this way means doing what I just told you to do just now.
Okay. Because that's whenever they do it this way, when they use that phrase this way, it always gunks up in my brain how things work. This is like it has to be specifically this that's turn.
Yeah, specifically this. Yeah.
Okay.
In the moment.
So in other words, what you have to do is get all 5 legendary dragons out at the same time.
That is a wonderful way to do it. You win the game twice if you do it that way.
I was about to say, technically, you have all the spirit dragons out. You met the qualifications not only for the game, but also for this card, because all 5 are there, and it says call the spirit dragons.
Yeah,
and you did exactly what it said. So that was my question. What were we doing, Chewy?
I was gonna dance around the chair. What? Oh,
like
right.
You just don't care.
There are there's I guess it's a cycle.
Elf.
Oh my god! But there's rare dragons in the monocolors.
Oh yeah, the rare omen dragons.
I guess.
Are we starting in white?
Are there multiple? Oh yeah, there's omen dragons too.
I mean, there's all sorts of dragons.
Oh, that's the cycle you were talking about.
I don't see a rare omen dragon in white. Is there one?
I thought there was. Wait a minute.
I mean, I see omen dragons. I just don't see a rare one.
Mm-hmm.
But I was looking at the Clarion Conqueror in white.
The Clarion. Oh, this thing's fun. There's things that this says, and there's things this doesn't say.
Yeah. So for 2 and a white, it's a 3/3 rare dragon with flying, and it does this classic white shutdown thing. Activated abilities of artifacts, creatures, and planeswalkers can't be activated.
You know what this doesn't say? Non-mana.
Oh my god.
Oh wow.
Yeah, Llanowar Elves. I was playing a game, and somebody dropped this, and my Llanowar Elves were like, "We're dumb." And I'm like, "Yeah, you are."
Oh, jeez.
My Mana Rock did nothing. Like, I was at 7 mana, and then somehow, because I had to rely on lands, I was at 3 mana.
Oof.
I couldn't get him to block with it either, for strangely enough.
Oh, that's awkward. So yeah, that's kind of gross, but it's one of those classic, like I said, white shutdown things. But this one's on a 3/3 flyer.
3/3, yeah. Usually you see hate bears, like 2/2s for 2. This is a 3/3 with flying for 3 that shuts down stuff that you don't even realize it's going to shut down.
Yeah. Non-mana. Wow, I did not even think of that. I think someone in the Discord mentioned that now that I think back and I was like, huh, but I didn't think about it any further.
Yeah, only costing 3. I wonder if this has a chance in Eternal format, like Death and Taxes type
Oh,
decks.
yeah, without saying non-mana, it might actually.
If it costs 4, like that'd just be too much. Wouldn't be worth it. But 3, I don't know.
Possibrew. All right then. So let's see what else we got in the way of Dagrons.
Well, hey
Hey.
there, Mike.
Yes.
Shoot. I should have had it by now, but I'm looking for
What
Hey
color
there,
is he?
Mike.
it. It's
How's
the
it going?
Storm Scale Scion in red.
Storm Scale Scion. All right, let's go find that.
Here goes Brian
you'll
jumping
know
all
it.
over the world again.
I
All
was about
right.
to say, I'm just going to Chewy's screen to read this card.
Oh, I have some. I had a filter on that was making it invisible. Let me get rid of that. All right, Storm Scale Scion. Oh, so this is a mythic rare dragon for 4 red. It's a 4/4 with flying. Other dragons you control get +1/+1, but this has Storm.
Oh, look, it's a dragon. Storm.
It's a
Yeah.
Dragon Lord Storm. The first time I read this, I was like, oh, okay, it's a 4/4. Somehow I missed the Storm part. And I was like, it's a 4/4 for 6? And it's an okay Lord, I guess. And then I was like, wait. Oh. So, Mike, because you're smart and all that, for the uninitiated, what exactly does Storm do, and why is it broken?
Yeah, so what exactly Storm does, when you cast a spell with Storm, you copy it for each other spell that's been cast before it this turn. So it's broken because it tacks on extra copies of spells to everything you do leading up to your Storm spell, whatever it is. It's broken because it's yet another way of circumventing the mana system and cards system that's built into the game for balance.
Yeah, the old Dragonstorm decks were like play spell that gives you mana like Seething Song, spell that gives you mana like Seething Song, spell that gives you mana like Seething Song. I can't think of the other one, but they're a
Desperate Ritual was the other one.
yeah, there we go. There are a bunch of spells that like Seething Song costs 3 and gives you 5 red, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And so then you do all that. Now you've got 6 mana. You play Stormscale Scion, and you get 4 copies of it, thus cheating your way out of, 18 mana. Because you paid 6, and you got that 4 times.
If you want to know why they don't really print red rituals anymore, it's mostly because of Dragonstorm.
Jay Spencer said,
So
someone
let's do
beat
it
me
here.
in draft today on Arena getting a storm count of 5. There's a red enchantment that basically has Cascade 8. What is that?
Oh, yeah. What are those called? Are those also called storms? Something storm? It is the Breaching Dragonstorm.
Oh, there it is.
For 4 and a red, it's an uncommon enchantment. When this enchantment enters, exile cards from the top of your library until you exile a non-land card. You may cast it without paying its mana cost if that spell's mana value is 8 or less. If you don't, put that card into your hand. When a dragon you control enters, return this enchantment to its owner's hand.
Yeah. All of the
Jesus.
Dragon Storms in the set are enchantments that have an enters the battlefield effect, and then when you get a dragon, you can bounce it back to your hand to later replay it. And most of them cost 2, but this is the big one.
Oh, is there a cycle of these?
It's a loose cycle.
It's an uncommon cycle, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. We should read these then, because that
They're all
one is
kinds of
stupid.
different. They're all kinds of different mana costs.
Yeah. If you search for Dragonstorm, will that do any?
Yeah, it
no,
will.
that does nothing.
Yeah, it does. It's one word.
Oh,
Dragonstorm.
oh no, it just took me up to the top, and card 1 was it for? Okay, yeah. So in white, you've got Teeming Dragonstorm for 3 and a white. So this one costs 4. When it enters, you get 2/2 white soldier creature tokens, which is pretty good. And then when a dragon you control enters, return this enchantment to its owner's hand.
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah.
that seems way more reasonable.
That's because it is.
Oh, okay.
This is not a coincidence.
But 2/2 tokens is a good rate for 4 mana.
Yeah, wait a minute.
it
For
really
4
is.
mana. Yeah.
4 mana that you can then get back at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is not bad. It's not even close to being bad.
Blue is Roiling Dragonstorm, which does cost 2. And when it it costs 1 and a blue. And when it enters, you draw 2 cards and discard a card. Huh.
Sounds
okay.
fair.
I mean, that is good. I mean, for multiple years, there have been red decks that lived off the back of cards that were like, that say discard a card and draw 2 cards. And this is the blue version of that gives you a little more control over the choice.
Yeah. So that's good. The black one is Corroding. Somebody read that.
The Corroding Dragonstorm, when it enters, each opponent loses 2 life, you gain 2 life, and you surveil 2.
And that one costs 2.
Mm-hmm.
1 and a black.
Yeah, just 1 in a black.
And all of these have the when a dragon you control enters, return this to your hand.
Yeah.
In case we didn't make that clear. So that's good. Mostly for the surveil too, honestly, but the 4-point life swing is also, not nothing.
Right.
Then the red one we just read, exile cards from the top of your library until you exile a non-land card. You may cast it without paying its mana cost. If it's 8 or less, if you don't put it into your hand. So it doesn't have Cascade 8.
Yeah, it's a little more like Discover.
Yeah. It does get you a 2 storm count by itself, though.
Yes.
Most likely.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And then green. What's the green one?
The green one is... Yeah, go ahead, Dark.
Encroaching Dragonstorm. It's for 3 and a green. Whenever this enchantment enters, search your library for up to 2 basic land cards. Put them onto the battlefield tapped. Then shuffle. When dragon you control enters the battlefield, return to its owner's hand.
Explosive vegetation.
It's an explosive vegetation that you can
vegetation.
reuse.
For the same cost as explosive vegetation.
Huh.
Exactly.
Yeah, these are all pretty good. Okay, so Jay Spencer is weighing in on the our 2 questions. He said he's hopeful for Baby Siege Rhino. What is the stupid rhino's name? I already forgot.
Skirmish Rhino.
Skirmish. Oh.
Skirmish Rhino. Okay. But he said he's hopeful for it in standard. Unlike original Rhino, it can't block the creatures in mono red now.
Mono red is kind of a
What is mono red in standard right now? He said, and Screaming Nemesis is a real thing. I don't know what that is either.
mono red is a menace.
Yeah, Screaming Nemesis is a creature from the House of Horror set, whatever it is.
Go ahead.
For 2 in a red, it's a 3/3 with haste, and when it's dealt damage, you can deal that much damage to any target, and if that target is a player, they can't gain life for the rest of the game.
Oh.
I mean, honestly, I'm okay with red having a way to shut down life gain. It seems appropriate, right?
Yeah.
But this is mono red or red X, red and whatever in standard is kind of problematic. There's too many red decks, and too many games are done by the time that the game really gets started. I'm very much a mid-range player, so they're too short for me, and I see them all the time. You're not original. I'm sorry, you're not.
That tells me the format might not have matured enough, because usually mono red does best when there are too many decks that spend too much time goofing off in the early game before getting down to business.
Oh yeah.
Which really killed me, because I loved building and playing decks that spent too much time goofing off.
They just had a banning, and people were like, "How did you not ban the red spell that the monstrous whatever that for the one red that's an instant that attach a beast roll to something?" And how did you know the one I'm talking about?
Oh,
Yeah,
I despise that spell in Brawl. Yeah.
That's because everyone hates it, and they were like, "How did you not ban it?" But they didn't. So.
And Jay Spencer said Clarion Conqueror might be able to see play in older formats. It's a really good hate bear. He knows it's going in his Pioneer deck sideboard.
Cool.
Yeah, like while you were gone, Jay Spencer, we were thinking, because it doesn't say non-mana, that it might, and it only costs 3, it might actually, be able to live in Eternal formats, or has a chance to anyway. All right then. So let's go back to the dragons that we were looking at. So in blue, there's probably a rare dragon here somewhere. Oh, actually, wait a minute. Brian.
Yes.
Brian? Yeah, Brian.
Yeah.
Read the Ambling Stormshell in blue.
Oh, yes.
Because I love this guy.
Yes. So the Ambling Stormshell for 3 and 2 blue is for 5 mana, is a turtle. It's a jobless turtle. It has no job. It has Ward of 2 generic, so that's good. When this creature attacks, put 3 stun counters on it and draw 3 cards. And whenever you cast a turtle spell, untap this creature. Which, keep in mind, if it has stun counters on it, it would remove a stun counter instead. You can't get around the stun counters. But, yeah. This is hilarious. You get exactly what it's trying to do. I love it.
And it's a 5-9. I don't know if you said that part.
I thought I said that, but no. If I didn't.
I don't think you did. Yeah, it's 5-9. I was about to ask a question, and then I looked over at chat, and Jay Spencer mentioned it. He said there's an awesome hack for the Stormshell. Give it vigilance.
Yikes.
Yeah, and because I was about to say, well, what I was about to say was Ward only applies to targeting by opponent stuff, right? Which, yeah, it does.
Correct.
So you could throw you know, a vigilance equipment or spell or something on it, and you know, draw cards literally all day. But he beat me to it.
Yeah, this thing with vigilance, you know, oh darn, it won't untap, but it's not tapped. Yeah, this thing is great.
Yeah, I mean, I would be fine in possibly even in like sealed, just playing this and attacking with it. Because it's blocking its first turn because nothing's getting through it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you just attack and draw 3 cards, and I don't care if it ever untaps again. Like, who gives?
You should be pretty good after that point, yeah.
You'd think, yeah. Because for 5 mana and big blocker, and then let's not forget when it attacks, it's still 5 power, and draw 3 cards. Like, that's what else do you need? Like, everything
Not
else on
much.
there is just sort of whatever. Turtle spell, whatever. Shut up. No one cares. But
There aren't any other turtle spells in the set, if you're wondering.
I was actually about to ask, do we know if there are any other turtles? All right, then. But yeah, I really like the design on this card. It's one of the few times where you can tell it's a turtle. Because it's going to take a long time for it
That's a
to
nice
do...
callback to Wandering Tower Shell.
Oh, yeah. I'd forgotten about that.
I also found Chewie's spell of hatred.
What's that?
Like the spell, the card that he hates the most.
What's that?
Arasta of the Endless Web in green.
I was gonna say
God.
something spider, isn't it?
Oh, I thought you were going to say Shared Fate.
Oh,
See, now I hate you. What's its name?
Arasta, Arasta.
Is this in the commander set?
And Abzan Armor,
What?
I guess. Yeah. Commander decks, you're right.
Oh, okay. Hang on. Let me. Whoop. See, this is why I clarified at the beginning what filters we were all using. Dirk.
Sorry.
Meandering Tower Shell, not Wandering Tower Shell.
There we go. Yeah. Okay, what? Oh my god, now everything has to load, so I have to scroll slowly. Here we go. Arasta. It's still not here. Why is it not here? I turned on Commander.
I just did default.
What? Where? It's mono green, right?
Yep.
What? How is...
So it's a enchantment creature.
I'm so confused. Okay, let me...
Dirk,
Just
do
keep
you have
going
the
down.
commander?
Go. There is next card down. Oh, well. Where you had the Tree of Redemption, the glowy tree, it should be right after it.
I don't think that Dirk has removed the filter stuff.
I don't think he has either.
Yeah, it's in the commander set. It might be a reprint. I'm not sure.
Oh, is it a reprint?
Like Tree of Redemption is a reprint.
I think Arasta might be too.
Oh, here it is. This is a reprint.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
right there
well.
Beyond Death.
That was because I was wondering. It was like, why is Nyx in the flavor text and everything?
Oh, okay. I was like, well, no, all the enchantment creatures look like this now, but oh, I see. You're in the flavor text. Whenever an opponent casts an instant or sorcery spell, create a 1/2 spider token with reach. Ugh. All right. Well, after
Baby
that little
Sponge.
thing there, so Dirk,
Yes.
you go down to set and click on Tarkir Dragonstorm,
My
so we don't
bad.
have to do this again.
Well,
All
I mean,
right,
I
so
got the rare, mythic, and all that. I just missed one step.
oh my god. So back to the blue rare dragon, which Jay Spencer told us is the Marang River Regent. Why is it a regent? So somebody read this omen and dragon and whatever. Hey Mike, read these.
All right.
You're so damn
So the
smart.
Marang River Regent has an omen. The omen is an instant called Coil and Catch. An instant. For 3 and a blue, draw 3 cards, then discard a card. And because it's an
Oh.
omen, then you shuffle this into its owner's library.
That seems not bad.
That is. I don't think that would be printed as a standalone card in the present day, but back in the day, that would have been. What is it? Sift? Sift is a sorcery. Yeah. So that's a decent spell. Draw 3, discard 1, 4 mana instant.
Yeah.
So that's the Coil and Catch omen. The rest of the card, the dragon side, the Marang River Regent, for 4 blue, is a 6/7 with flying. And when it enters, return up to 2 other target non-land permanents to their owner's hands.
Well, that's a
So
problem.
big dragon and a double bounce. Which also feels really nice and solid.
Yeah. That's
I like it.
and this is blue?
Blue.
I mean, it's bounce, so.
Yeah, but it's a 6/7 for 6. With the double bounce. You know what I mean? Like, buh.
Yeah.
That's silly. Let's see. Did we read Tigum last time?
We did.
Okay.
Did
good.
we get around to it? Okay.
I'm positive we did.
Oh yeah,
we
because
talked about
it
suspend.
gives suspend. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, more rare dragon in black. Did we do the black one yet?
No, there's a black one here that's really interesting. It's the Scavenger Regent.
It rules.
Oh, this is so good. I think this could be a standard card, just for the sorcery. So, Scavenger Regent. I'm gonna read the dragon first. For 3 and a black, it's a rare. It's got flying and ward. Discard a card, and it's a 4/4. So for 4 mana, a 4/4 with flying and ward of discard a card is already good. But
I really
the
love
omen,
non-mana ward.
Yeah.
yeah, I like it too. But the omen is a sorcery. It's called Exude Toxin, and it costs X and 2 black. Each non-dragon creature gets -X until end of turn. So it's a conditional board wipe that then shuffles itself back into your library.
Yeah.
I feel like control decks are going to be like, ha, 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 ha. The only thing holding it back is how many dragons people are playing, because this does nothing to dragons. But it also does nothing to the Scavenger Regent maybe you already played to get something on the board. So, yeah.
Very good point.
But, like, what is it? What mutilate? Mutilate is the -X to all creatures for each swamp you control. Imagine if mutilate
Yes.
was like, imagine if it was like, okay, when this resolves, put it back in your library.
Black Sun Zenith, I guess, is the closest analog, but that used -1/-1 counters, which can be a big difference. But yeah, Black Sun Zenith is a good comparison.
Yeah, that's pretty quality stuff there. All right, more dragons. Do we do the red one yet?
No.
Magmatic Hellkite. Okay. Wait, did we do the green one yet?
No, I don't think so.
Because I know Brian jumped down here to green for something. Was it the green dragon?
No, I'm pretty sure that was something else.
Okay. I can't even find the green dragon. So, is there a green dragon?
It is. It's the Bloom Vine region. It's not flying in the art, so you might not notice it.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Well, hey, Dirk, you should read the red one then.
All right. So it has the omen that's claimed territory for 2 and a green.
Or you can
Search
read
your
the green
library
one. That works too.
Do what? Do what?
I said,
going.
or you can read the green one. That works too. Yeah.
He asked
Wow.
you to read the red one, but
Yeah.
go ahead.
Oh, I thought you said the green one. My
We
bad.
hear what we want to hear. Read the green one then, Dirk.
All right. So the green one, like I said, the omen part is claim territory for 2 and a green. Search your library for up to 2 basic forest cards. Reveal them. Put one onto the battlefield tapped, and the other into your hand. Then shuffle. And then you have the Bloom Vine Regent. That's the green dragon for 3 and 2 green. It's a 4/5 with flying. Whenever this creature or another dragon you control enters, you gain 3 life.
The it says basic forest cards. Yeah, the omen's not bad.
Mm-mm.
I mean, it's a limited Kadama's Reach.
Yeah, or cultivate.
Sorry, that's the more recent one. Yeah.
Mhm.
I still always see the art from Kadama's Reach though,
Oh yeah.
regardless of what spell it actually is. But yeah, the region itself, I mean, 4/5 flying in green, gain 3 life is fine. And then with the potential to gain more life, this card is kind of bland, honestly. You know, compared to the others. It's fine. Right?
Yeah, it's fine. And if it's interesting if you have 2 copies in your hand, then one of them can claim territory, and then you're pretty much guaranteed on the next turn to be able to play the second one.
Also, you think Brian knows he's muted?
I don't know. I guess we'll find out together.
I just realized Brian hasn't jumped in on any of these in a while. But he didn't
Something
give
must
us
come
a
up.
standard, BRB or something. So I
Mhm.
went to look, and yeah, he's muted. And since he hasn't responded, I'm guessing that he had to mute to go do something.
Yeah.
Oh well. Okay then, so the red one. What was it? Oh yeah, magmatic something or other. Magmatic Hellkite. For 2 red is a 4/5 flying dragon. Like you do. And when it enters, you destroy target non-basic land an opponent controls. And its controller searches for a basic land, puts it on the battlefield tapped with a stun counter on it, then shuffles.
Yeah.
Hey, there's Brian.
Yeah. Sorry, was I muted?
Muted and
I think I might have been muted.
and not responding because we actually just had a conversation. Do you think Brian knows he's muted?
Oh.
Goober. But yeah, I don't know why, but I just like that they've turned, land destruction, like they've turned it down for the most part. Like these days it seems like you're blowing up non-basics only, and they can replace it with a basic,
Mm-hmm.
which, part of me loves land destruction in like a one-on-one match,
Mhm.
but the other person does not. Just
Very
doesn't.
true.
So I like that on this one they've still given you the soft version of LD, but they put the stun counter on it. It's just an extra little middle finger.
Yeah, so it actually does put them off their pace for a turn.
Yeah. So instead of just the utility that they're losing from the non-basic, but getting a basic to replace it, yeah, they're actually out of mana for a turn. I like it. It's not, great, but it makes me giggle. Brian, did you have any opinion on the green one, the Bloomvine Regent?
I really like it. I think it's cool. I'm a little disappointed it says basic forests, but hey, I like me a it was at Kodama's Reach, even if it's just for
See, it's
forests.
not
So
just me.
yeah,
Yeah, I said it was a limited Kodama's Reach, and Mike went, yeah,
Yeah.
Cultivate. I was like, yeah, that one. I'm old.
Mike.
Shut up.
cultivate. Come on, man.
So that's all the rare dragons in the monocolors, along with a few other things that we hit along the way. What else do we want to talk about? Did we hit all of the old character? We didn't hit all the old characters.
No, we didn't. That was
We
near
hit
the end
some
of
of
the
them.
last episode, and it was getting
Yeah.
late. We didn't keep
Yeah,
going.
we hit Tygam. We hit the white one.
And Afenza.
Yeah, we did not hit Zurok, elusive hunter. He used to be a con. Now he's not a con no more, but he's still pretty awesome. Dirk, you like some stuff that's green, so I hear. Typecasting. So why don't you tell us about Zurok, elusive hunter?
Let me find. There he goes. Thurrock, elusive hunter for 2 and a green. He's a 4/3 human warrior who's legendary. This spell can't be countered. Hunter's gonna hunt. He also has trample. Whenever a creature you control or a creature spell you control becomes the target of a spell or ability an opponent controls, draw a card.
Yeah,
He's-
so they
he's
can't
still-
counter him. Yeah,
He still just hates the blue, doesn't he?
he just, yeah.
Yep.
Can't counter him. If they target him with a Doomblade or whatever, you draw a card. And if they even counter one of your other creature spells, you draw a card. He's just like, yeah, he hates the blue.
So let's see. In red, we talked about Zergo, didn't we? He's not in red. Who's in red? Is there anyone in red? Oh, Sarkon's in red.
Sarkon's in red. We haven't talked about Sarkon. He's only the kind of antagonist of this story. His character's been all over the place. Remember when he was crazy?
That was fun.
Yes.
So, hey, Mike, read Sarkon.
All right. So, Sarkon Dragon Ascendant. For 1 in red is a 2/2 human druid. When Sarkon enters, you may behold a dragon. It's a reminder that means either choose a dragon you control or reveal one from your hand. If you do, create a treasure token. Whenever a dragon you control enters, put a +1/+1 counter on Sarkon. Until end of turn, Sarkon becomes a dragon in addition to its other types and gains flying.
Look, he's still being dragons even without a spark.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Although apparently it is super painful and he kind of hates it a bit and it's a big problem for him. So he gets up with Taigam, and they kill a dragon together, and he eats its heart. There's a card in green called Sarkon's Resolve that shows him killing a dragon, and it allows him to transform again using the same ritual that the Khans use to bring out the spirit dragons, but he can't control his growth, and he becomes massive, and he's like, this is great, but he can't help himself. So he goes a little crazy again, and I can't help but feel like they don't know what to do with this character anymore. But still, dragon is dragon is dragon.
Is dragon.
Mhm.
Yeah, he's fine for a 2-mana creature. I do like
Yeah.
behold a dragon, get treasure.
Mm.
All right then.
In black, there's a very interesting legend.
Say
Sidisi.
Yeah, there we go.
It's Sidisi. Have you read this card?
I don't think so.
Well, you should read this card.
Oh, okay. Sidisi, Regent of the Mire. There's a lot of regents in this set.
Apparently so.
For 1 and a black, Sidisi is a legendary zombie snake warlock with teeny tiny little font. Because zombie snake warlock legendary takes up a lot of space. So 1 and a black for a 1/3, and you tap Sidisi and sacrifice a creature you control with mana value X other than Sidisi to return target creature card with mana value X +1 from your graveyard to the battlefield. Activate only as a sorcery. No, not Breeding Pit. What is this freaking thing?
Hell's Caretaker,
What?
sort of. Oh, I was thinking about the graveyard battlefield switching. Birthing Pod.
No, sack this to go get something. Oh, but this gets it out of the graveyard. So it's a
Yeah, that's
graveyard
why I
version
preferred
of the
Oh, the Birthing Pod.
birthing pod. Thank you.
Yeah, that's why my brain went to Hell's Caretaker first, because of the sacrificing something to get something out of the graveyard.
Yeah. Oh, but you sacrifice the thing, so it actually. My brain overrode it with exile because exile is just loaded. Anything that does anything with the graveyards these days seems to have an exile attached to it.
So it doesn't get broken.
Yeah, but this, it's like they're asking you to break it.
Yeah, you have to go up the chain, so if you want the thing you sacrificed back, you got to go find something smaller to sacrifice.
Yeah.
So, funny story. I was doing a draft on Arena, and I had a guy in the graveyard. I don't have to just say a guy. I can tell you which one because we're looking at the set. Crazy, trustworthy kind of guy. I think. Yeah. The reputable merchant, who just real fast. He's a 2/2. He has 3 of the hybrid symbols where you either pay 2 or the specific Abzan, so 2 are a white, 2 a black, 2 a green. And I had out a 2-drop, who was also one that I could get back later I can pull it back from the graveyard. So I'm like, sack this, try to get back the reputable merchant, and eventually the opponent was like, your go, because I was like, why is this not letting me do this? I don't understand. The reputable merchant does not have a mana cost of 3.
No.
I was
It
about
took
to
me a
ask, what
long
is its
time
mana
to realize
cost?
that. I don't
It's-
know, but not 3.
Its mana
I think
value
it's
is 6.
6, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Because it was
Hybrid.
like yeah.
Yeah, those hybrid symbols with a 2 on one side and a colored symbol on the other, they count as 2 for mana value.
Gotcha. Because I couldn't remember because it's been a long time.
Hmm.
Yeah. Although if you do have something that costs 5, sacking it to get back the reputable merchant seems like not a great deal, honestly, because it's a 2/2. But if you got something that costs 7, sacking the reputable merchant seems like a good plan.
Yes, 100%.
Because the reputable
so
merchant.
there's a. Yeah.
We didn't say, but where'd it go? There it is. When it enters or dies, you put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control.
Yeah, it was going to be great. I was going to be getting it back over and over again, because the thing is, what I was sacking was the Abzan. Where is he? The Abzan Devotee in black for 1 and a black is a common dog cleric, like you do, because he's a dog, and he's a 2/1. Each clan has a fanatic, and they all filter mana. They can only do it once per turn, but he can filter into a white, a black, or a green. And his extra ability is pay 2 and a black, return him from your graveyard to your hand. So I'm like, sweet. I will. This is great. I will keep getting these counters, and I mean, it was still good with like another 3-drop, but it did not work with the merchant. So, but yeah, Sidisi is kind of crazy.
Yeah, Sidisi seems pretty neat. Oh, did we do the Sibsig ceremony last time? I can't remember.
We did not.
No.
Oh, for God's sakes.
Oh.
Somebody read this
I
silliness.
saw it. I'm excited about this. The Sibsig ceremony is a legendary enchantment that costs black, black, black. It's rare, and creature spells you cast cost 2 less to cast. For our favorite phrases on this show. And whenever a creature you control enters, if you cast it, destroy that creature, then create a 2/2 black zombie druid creature token.
But what if it costs less?
Exactly. So this is a way to get a cheaper enters the battlefield effect that you really want. This is the way to instantly get a dies trigger out of something.
Yep.
And all kinds of other foolishness. If you're casting a creature that has built-in indestructible, there are some of those here and there, then you just get a bonus zombie. But there are very few creatures with just built-in indestructibles, so it's not going to happen very often, but it's an option.
There's some gods.
There are. And they'll cost 2 less.
They'll cost 2 less. You got it.
Oh, yeah, the new Hazaret will just cost 1. It's like, whoop. Pay 1 for Hazaret, get a zombie.
Start your engines.
Exactly.
Wow.
Literally and metaphorically.
So
that's a neat card.
There's a lot of it seems a little simplistic, but there's a lot of stupid stuff you can do with this.
Yeah.
If you want to talk about something that also seems You want to talk about something that also seems really straightforward but has a lot of application?
I think Mike was about to go off.
Well, yeah. Sidisi really likes this because it makes it a lot easier to get something costly up the chain, into the graveyard that you can get later. Because, the zombie token can be used to chain into something that costs 1 to start things out. If, for whatever because, you can play stuff before you actually put the Sibsig ceremony on the battlefield to get ready for it. So Sidisi can get ready for it. And then the ceremony itself will make, if you have something that costs 6, normally it'll only cost 4. So you can go ahead and get dump in the graveyard. So you can chain into it with Sidisi later. Yeah.
Mike's building a deck.
Yeah.
Plus,
Okay.
because it has that if you cast it thing, you can reanimate all these things and
Yes.
they're fine. Anything Sidisi brings back, for instance, just lands on the battlefield and goes, "What's up?" and doesn't immediately get zombified. Sorry,
Well, yeah,
no,
they
that
don't
means
cost
something.
anything less, so yeah.
So yeah, it's fun. Okay, Brian, go ahead.
Draco Genesis.
Oh yeah. Dragon Omniscience.
Dragon Omniscience for 6 and 2 red. It's a red rare enchantment. It's got to be bad, right? It just can't be good.
What's a red mythic enchantment? So it's got to be
It is mythic
complete
enchantment.
ass.
Yeah. You may cast dragon spells without paying their mana cost.
See, that's terrible. Wait.
All your changelings are free. Mistform Ultimus for days.
Hi-oh.
I mean, I have nothing else to say about this. What else do you say?
I mean, yeah, you got to come up with 8 mana. There are very few dragons that cost more than 8 mana. But now you can play more than one of those in the same turn.
And if one of them happens to have Storm, you should play it last.
Yes.
Or call it the Spirit Dragons.
That is not a dragon spell. So you still got to come up with.
But that means you could get all 5 of the Spirit Dragons out and then win.
He's got you there, Brian.
Yeah. Does he?
Drop the mic. I mean, not you. Anyway.
Oh, Lord. So, yeah, where is it? Draco Genesis is your standard silly, big, expensive thing. Ow. Okay, what's down in gold? There's got to be crazy stuff down in gold that we haven't talked about.
Oh, there's all sorts of crazy stuff in gold. There's so we mentioned crazy stuff with the ritual. If you want to talk about crazy with the ritual, look at the new con of the one I can't remember what they're called.
Sultai?
Kotis, the Fang Keeper, has built in indestructible. So Kotis, the Fang Keeper, for 1, a black, a green, and a blue, is a 2/1 zombie warrior, legendary zombie warrior, with built-in indestructible. And whenever Kotis deals combat damage to a player, exile the top X cards of their library, where X is the amount of damage dealt. So the bigger Kotis' power, the more damage they deal. You may cast any number of spells with mana value X or less from among them without paying their mana cost.
Oh. Well, that's fun.
Yeah. Right now, black is all about playing with the opponent's decks. Decks. Make sure I pronounce that correctly. They've got this thing going on, and it's a neat thing. I like it. This gives them challenges, like, oh, do I block this? Do I just take 2? What's going on? But the fact that it's going to survive. As long as it doesn't
Yeah.
get minus, it's going to be good.
So
Just have to find ways to pump its power if you really want to get good stuff.
yeah, I mean, just a simple giant growth gets you 5 cards, and you can play stuff that costs like 5 or less, which I
Yeah.
feel like it's gonna be most of it.
Yeah, this has already started annoying me in Brawl on Arena.
Already? The set's been out for 2 days.
Yeah, I know.
Thus the term already.
Mhm. I really don't like the legendary creatures that have built-in indestructible that have shown up here and there, because it makes for Brawl decks that are just really uninteresting and frustrating to play against.
I got you.
Yeah.
Unless I happen to be playing a deck that can do a very specific thing over and over again to make them sacrifice it or to give it -/- or stun lock it.
So I just saw Mammoth Bellow. And man, you remember
Yeah.
Call of the Herd?
Yeah?
This is not Call of the Herd.
No.
No.
So for 2 and a green, a blue, and a red, it's a sorcery that's uncommon that says create a 5/5 elephant. So boom, get an elephant. But then it has harmonize of 5 and a teamer. So you can tap that elephant to get a second elephant for only 3 mana.
Yeah, it's
Yes,
great.
you can.
So like that part's really cool, but if you've got a 5/5, you probably want to be swinging with it, right?
Yeah, you
Probably.
probably.
But it doesn't have haste. You can, and you could swing with both next turn.
I mean, if you've got 8 mana laying around, sure. Make 2 5/5s. Why not?
That's a good
I'll
deal.
make 2 5/5s for 8 mana. Yes, sir, all day long.
That is a good deal, but
But you have to have 8 mana first.
yeah.
Hey, I just played Draco Genesis. I'm good.
It's like I got a 5/5 and another 5/5 and 4 dragons.
If you want to talk about another uncommon that really surprised me, you should read Lie in Wait.
Ooh, it's on the same row.
Because it is.
Okay, lie in wait for a black, a green, and a blue. Return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Not great for 3 mana. Lie in wait deals damage equal to that card's power to target creature. Never mind, that's pretty great for 3 mana.
Yeah. You're right. For 3 mana, a Raise Dead is
Yeah,
But
a
this is
Raise
Raise Dead.
and a removal spell. Yeah, that's
And-
pretty
yeah.
gross.
Yeah. This is value.
Yeah.
If only there was some way to set it up. If only there was another card in this row that just tied into this, like, actually perfectly. I guess we'll never know.
Oh, Brian, maybe you're thinking of the Lotus Light Dancers.
The Lotus Light Dancers? Mike, what's that?
Lotus Light Dancers is a zombie bard.
Can we just stop right here? A zombie bard.
Hey, man, you've heard of the Grateful Dead.
Like,
This shouldn't be a
Jesus.
stretch.
Boo! But like, what is a zombie? While the other bard is over here, the other zombie bard has like a lute and is like banging on it. It's like, you know what? That sounds like the kind of music Mike would listen to, honestly. Okay, I'm sorry. That I had to riff on a zombie bard for a second.
So for 2, a black, a green, and a blue,
Brains.
Lotus Light Dancers is a rare spoony zombie. It's a 3/6 with lifelink. And when it enters, search your library for a black card, a green card, and a blue card. Put those cards into your graveyard, then shuffle.
That's kind of stupid, actually. Oh, it costs 5 though.
Yeah. Cost 5.
Yeah, but it also has built-in lifelink, so
Yeah, I mean the 3/6 with lifelink for 5 is fine, but I was like, man, just throw 3 cards in the graveyard. That's insane. Oh, it costs 5. All right.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair.
But yeah, that's.
I remember the Sultai mechanic in this set is the more different scavenge that I can't remember the name of right now.
Renew.
And there's also some crossover in green and blue with the Harmonize and Teamer playing from the graveyard.
Yeah.
it doesn't really have anything to do with Flurry and Jeskai because you're not casting it from the graveyard, so
No.
not as much with that. But not everything has to be a 1-for-1 sort of lineup.
I mean, if you throw a blue card with Harmonize in the graveyard, that works with Flurry.
That does, yes, because you're actually casting that.
Wow, we just read this whole row.
Yeah, it was a great row.
It is a great row. Did we read Mardu Siegebreaker? I don't. That's a lot of text. No, but the dude is on a not chocobo, a legally distinct chocobo, because that's the next set.
Yeah, no, this is crazy. So check this out.
Checking, sir.
Mardu Siegebreaker for 1, a red, a white, and a black, because Mardu. It is a 4/4 human warrior. It's rare, with Death Touch and Haste. So for 4 mana, 4/4 with Death Touch and Haste. When this creature enters, exile up to 1 other creature you control until this creature leaves the battlefield, which you're like, what? You O-ring your own other creature. And if you choose not to, this is still a 4/4 with Death Touch and Haste. But if you did exile a creature, whenever this creature attacks, for each opponent, create a tapped token that's a copy of the exiled card attacking that opponent. At the beginning of your end step, sacrifice those tokens.
Oh, it's was it Myriad?
Myriad. Customizable Myriad.
Customizable Myriad. Also, what's the Mardu ability in this set?
Mobilize.
Yeah, this is like a mobilize, but instead of a 1/1 warrior, you get a whatever. You get, where is I lost it. You get a reputable merchant. That when it comes in, you get a +1/+1 counter, and when it dies, you get a +1/+1 counter.
Bro, that is gross. Like if you're more interested in the utility than the actual damage, then that's insane. Getting the reputable merchant on it. Whew.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
You
Oh, and when someone kills this, you get that creature back.
Yes.
That's right.
Huh.
Do we want to talk about the?
No, probably not.
There's a couple other cycles, and I don't know when we're going to lose Dark, but there's 2 cycles that are interesting in Gold that we haven't talked about. One is the Sieges, and they're 2 color, and that you have an option when you play each one between 2 clans, and each clan also has a saga. So, do we want to talk about any of these?
Oh, there's a siege. I was like, I'm not seeing any sieges. Up to you guys. Dirk, you still alive?
I am.
Okay.
Yeah, I like the sieges. Let's talk about those.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I'm on the Windcrag siege already, so let's do that one first.
So what's it do?
Okay, I'll read it. For 1, a red and a white, it's an enchantment. As this enchantment enters, choose Mardu or Jeskai. Because we've seen sieges before, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
In Dragons of Tarkir, there was a monocolored siege for each color, and it represented. You would choose either cons or dragons.
Yeah.
Right, for whichever side of the battle that the siege was going to represent.
Right.
So here, these are inter-clan conflicts.
Yeah. So the Mardu half of this is if a creature attacking causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, it triggers an extra time. Okay. So that works especially well with Mobilize.
Yep.
But,
Or the card we just read.
or the card we just read. Or any number of other things, but especially with
Right.
Mobilize in this set.
Yes.
So that's cool. The Jeskai side is at the beginning of your upkeep, create a 1/1 red goblin creature token. It gains lifelink and haste until end of turn. That is a very strange thing.
It is very strange. The Jeskai mode is just generically useful.
Yeah.
I guess they had to have one because the Mardu mode on this is like really
It's way-
narrow. But
Super narrow, yeah.
But for the things that it works with, it's just off the walls, nuts,
Yeah.
or it can be,
Yeah, but
because
I
things
wonder-
that trigger on something attacking are usually only meant to trigger once a turn. Period. If you so getting them to trigger an extra time is
There are some creatures that are a relentless assault the first time they attack.
that is true, yeah. I guess the reason the Jeskai one is worded that way is because the goblin token doesn't have any abilities. And they didn't want to create an extra token, so they just... Oh, it gets lifelink and haste until the end of turn.
Yeah, especially if there are other effects in the set that create goblin tokens that don't have lifelink and haste, and there are. So
Yeah, that's what I'm
it's
saying.
easier.
The generic goblin token in the set doesn't have any abilities, and they
Yeah,
didn't want to
yeah,
make a
right.
new one.
Mhm.
Yeah, they weren't
you
going to
Get to
make
keep the
like.
goblin.
But you get to keep the
Well,
goblin.
And it's true that the goblin doesn't have those abilities after the first turn anyway.
Yeah, well, one
So
of those is
they
pointless
wouldn't
after
be-
the first turn, so that's fine.
Yeah.
It's just very strange.
Well, maybe you'll like the tab is covering the Barren Steppe Siege a little better. It's a little more expensive. This costs 2, a white and a black. As this enchantment enters, choose Abzan or Mardu. Abzan. At the beginning of your end step, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control.
That seems pretty good.
Mardu. At the beginning of your end step, if a creature died under your control this turn, each opponent sacrifices a creature of their choice.
Now, why did they say of their choice?
They've been saying that more.
Oh, okay.
They've put on there like for discard, they've said discard a card of their choice. I think it's
Just
an effort to make it. Yeah.
To make
Although
it
I kind of,
clear.
although I feel like now if you don't, it takes up more space, and if you don't print it, are people going to be like, well, who chooses? So I have mixed feelings about it, but I've noticed it, especially starting in Foundations. But I like this. It costs 4, so it's not super cheap, but both of these modes are
really
just
good.
ridiculously good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if
Abzan
you've
is
already
good
got
pretty much.
the board, then the Abzan side is stupid. And if you've got like mobilize, don't mobilize things die at the end of turn?
They do.
They sacrifice.
And heck, it could,
Yeah.
Well- Wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
yeah, they get sacrificed, not exiled.
Well, I'm trying to think about how that works. So, if nothing died in some other way, then mobilize won't cause us to go off, because if nothing has died yet, mobilized triggers and the Mardu mode trigger will try to go into the deck at the same time, but because the Mardu mode trigger has the intervening if, it won't trigger if something hasn't already died.
Interesting. But like they're 1/1s, surely someone's gonna block them. And if not, hey, they took extra damage.
Yeah. Or just find a way to, sacrifice something else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can do it. So that's the Baron Step Siege.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
There's a Frost Cliff and Glacier Wood on the same line. Ouch.
Yep.
Hey, Dirk, you should read the Glacier Wood one because it's green, and that's apparently all you can read.
Dirk is the opposite of colorblind. He is color specific.
Color singular. Yeah. Glacier Wood Siege. For 1 green-blue, choose Teamer or Sultai. Teamer, whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, target player mills 4 cards.
Oh.
And then Sultai, you may play lands from your graveyard.
Oh. Like, neither of those are great.
Neither one of those is bad.
But neither one is bad, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess it depends on who you're interested in milling. If you're doing the self-mill thing, then the Sultai side is kind of stupid good.
Yeah. I guess self. Okay, I guess that's right.
Ironically, you almost want to have 2 of these in one set to each mode.
Yeah. I was just thinking that too.
Was that Mike?
So yeah, if you're doing it to yourself. But then if I had 2 of these, I'd be like, oh, if I cast an instant or sorcery, I can mill my opponent for 8. Ooh. I mean, that's what I'd be doing.
Oh god, that does say target player.
Yeah. Oh, it does. Oh, I milled somebody out in a sealed event with one of these. I was gonna lose too, and I was just like, draw this omen, this dragon, play it for the omen side. It draws me. I get a +1/+1 counter, and I draw a card. Mill you for 4. I drew a draw spell. I play it. Mill you for 4. He was at 10 cards left when I started this chain, and I got 3 instants of sorceries and milled him out, and he quit. Like, he had the explode thing. He did not have the mill graphic. He seppuku'd himself, which I can hardly blame him for, because I was going to lose. So
yeah, sorry,
milling.
When I said the self-mill thing, I meant with like your deck, like your other cards. If you were doing the self-mill thing, this is a nice. I didn't even think about using the teamer side to mill yourself.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, both sides of this are good. Because if you're in Sultai, you might be milling yourself with other effects to get some of the renew cards into your graveyard. You might be. And hey, those lands are put to good use. Or if you're just playing a regular game and maybe you play some lands that surveil, well, throw those lands into your graveyard and then get them with this later.
Yeah.
This is a solid one, I think.
Yeah, like I said, neither one is great, but they're both good.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so then the Frost Cliff. I don't know why that was hard to say. Frost Cliff. Why does that not roll? Frost Cliff. There we go. I found it. Jesus Christ. Somebody else read it. I'm an idiot.
Frostcliff Siege. For 1, a blue and a red, you choose Jeskai or Teamer. Jeskai mode says whenever 1 or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, draw a card. Okay, cool.
Seems good.
That's good for 3. Teamer mode says creatures you control get +1/+0 and have trample and haste.
Jesus Christ.
This card would be worth playing if it only had the Teamer mode printed on it, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
For 3 mana? Yeah, it would.
Yes.
Jesus
The
Christ.
Jeskai side is good, but for 3, and it doesn't matter if you hit them with 1 creature or 5, you're still just drawing 1 card. But yeah,
Yeah, I guess
Again-
it depends on what your deck is trying to do, but the default should be the Teamer side probably.
Yeah, like giving trample to everybody. Like I still remember back in the day, it was so hard to give things trample. I would have killed to find a consistent way to give creatures trample. It was a long time before, reliable, repeatable, give something trample.
Brawn.
Sources were in the game. Yeah.
Yeah, you remember? Okay, listeners, way back in the day when we were all playing 60 card, 6-8 people around a table games, because we're so old. This was before Commander was a thing.
Mm-hmm.
We're so old. This is before EDH was a thing. Whenever Brawn would hit a graveyard, someone that wasn't that player would be like, "Hey, Brawn is in his graveyard now."
There was a public announcement. The PSA goes out.
Because one of the best ways to win was to give something giant trample.
Yep.
And
And there's lots of
swing at
giant
somebody.
creatures that don't have built-in trample for balance issues.
Yeah.
To which you do give everything trample.
So whenever, like, all right, I'll discard Brawn. Hey, he put Brawn in the graveyard. Did you hear that? You'd look at all the people playing like black. Be like, did you hear that?
Yeah, for some reason, that was more impactful than like, hey, filth. Well, which filth in the graveyard didn't always do a whole lot. But
Yeah, well, I mean, it killed me. But other than that,
but Wonder, the flying one, what was
Yes.
the or anger we heard too, but this is anger plus brawn.
yeah.
And then you guys got
plus
mad
one
whenever I
plus
threw. You guys got mad at my glory, but
yeah.
too
I
bad.
always wanted to throw your glory in a hole.
Yes, I knew you were gonna find some way to
But
work
yeah,
that in there.
The Frostcliff Siege, yeah, that's pretty good. I think the only thing that keeps it from being really silly is the fact that it's blue and red.
Yes.
Like, if this thing was green and red, I don't think they'd print it. At least not at
that'd
3
be a
mana.
bit much. Mhm.
Because of the knock-on effect it would have, in, commander decks around the universe.
Mhm.
But blue and red, yeah, that's okay. Anyway, so there's one more siege, the Hollowmurk Siege, which only costs 2. A black and a green. Its Sultai side is whenever a counter is put on a creature you control, draw a card. This ability triggers only once each turn. Yeah, that seems good. And then the Abzan side, whenever you attack, put a +1/+1 counter on target attacking creature. It gains menace until end of turn. Oh. Yeah, those are both really good for 2 mana.
Yeah.
And work really
This one
well
feels
in their
real
respective clans.
Mhm.
Like, what does Renew do again?
Renew.
You,
It's all over the map. Most of them put a counter of some sort on the target
That's
when
what
you
I
exile
thought.
them from the graveyard. There are a couple that just have an effect, but only like it might be like literally two.
yeah, there's one blue one that puts a stun counter on an opponent's creature, but it works differently.
Okay,
Well,
that's the one. That's what I'm thinking of because I just remember that it didn't put a counter on one of your things. But no, you're right. Yeah. So there probably aren't any that don't do any counters.
Yeah. So that's pretty great, since that's the Soul Tides thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was fun. I like the sieges, I gotta say.
And I need to head on to bed.
Dirk needs to go to bed. All right, then. Well, do you have a final thought then, Mr. Zerk?
I will say that this set definitely is very dragon-tastic. It's got lots. So, as we were going through some of these, I'm going, wow, if I bought some of this, I would really need to revamp the Dragon EDH deck. Or just build a standard, just redo everything and have like a standard or a 60 card, I won't say standard, a 60 card Dragon deck, and then EDA or Commander Dragon deck in addition to it. I don't know, but I'd have to change things up just because of how many dragons are in this and how many dragon options there are.
there are those, yes.
Yeah, lots of that. So, but that's my final thought was, I mean, there's a lot of really cool stuff. So, all right, well, with that, I am off to bed, gentlemen. You have a wonderful evening.
Good night.
You too, my friend.
All right. Thanks, Dirk.
So Chifuji just said that the borderless showcase cards for the sieges are really cool. Oh, they are.
The battle maps where they're like pushing the
Yeah.
formations around. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got them on screen now for anyone watching the YouTube version of this, or if you're watching live. Yeah, these are all the the map, the little like D&D games. No, sorry, the little war games where you've got the map with all the little figures and people around the table pointing and pushing things. Yeah. That's a neat little concept for like that probably wouldn't work for the regular ass, booster pack version because it's kind of niche and people would not appreciate it as much on the basic ass card as opposed to, the big actual siege scenes.
Mm-hmm.
But for an alternate art, that's really cool.
Yeah, I see it less of a D&D thing and more of like a military like planning, here's our forces, here's their forces sort of thing.
Yeah.
So everything changes when the Fire Nation goes over here. Yeah.
Over here. Oh yeah, there's a new Mox.
Oh yeah, and not only is there a new Mox, but they've got an alternate version of it. I think they liked what they did with the One Ring.
Of course.
And
yeah.
there's not one of these. There's something like 100 of it.
I think it's 500.
500. Okay. So
Yeah,
it's enough that.
Oh, where is it? Is it under rarity? Yeah, there's no, not under rarity. Where was it? Oh, serialized. Here it is. If you click on serialized and nothing else, yeah, it's XXX of 500 for the retro style Mox Jasper.
I mean, that's enough that if you get one, you can be like, "Wow, this is great," or you can sell it or whatever. But it's not like
Yeah, it's not the Call Post Malone lottery ticket that the One Ring was.
Right.
Yeah, I think they're just doing this once per set now because money.
Well, yeah.
Oh, Chifuji said last set it was the Aether Spark. Innistrad Remastered had Edgar Markov. Oh, Innistrad... a remastered set had one? Okay, that's a bit much.
I hadn't heard about that.
But yeah, the Mox Jasper is legendary. It's mythic. It costs 0. It taps for 1 mana of any color, but only if you control a dragon.
And you know what? That's fine. I don't.
Yeah.
There's nothing broken about that at all. It's
Yeah,
probably
no,
the
that's
most
neat.
safe Mox ever. Yeah.
I just saw the monuments here.
Yeah.
These
They're
are
a common
gross.
cycle.
Do it?
They're a common cycle, right?
Uncommon.
Uncommon. Okay. I just
Yeah.
see them a lot.
Oh, I
in
bet,
limited.
because they're awesome. So when they all appear to cost 2, and when it enters, you search your library for a basic, one of the 3 basic land types that go with the clan, and put it into your hand. And then, so they're 2-cost artifacts that do that. And then they all have something that's a clan cost. So the Sultai one says 2 in a Sultai, tap and sacrifice to get 2 zombie druid tokens. The Teamer one is 3 in a Teamer sack to get an elephant. A 5/5 elephant. Jeskai gets you for 1 and a Jeskai gets you 2 flying birds. Ooh. Mardu for 2 and a Mardu tap and tap and sack gets you 3 1/1 warriors that get menace and haste until end of turn. Jesus Christ. Why didn't the warriors just have haste? Like on the card. It seems like that would have saved him a lot of time.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's a good question.
And then what am I missing? Abzan. For 1 and an Abzan tap and sack gets you an XX spirit creature token where X is the greatest toughness among creatures you control. Oh. So it's neat that they're, essentially 2 mana fix your mana, and then later they've got some useful ability, all of which give you a token of some sort.
Yeah, the ones for Jeskai and Mardu seem like really dumpy, cost versus reward wise, versus the other 3. 2 birds for 4 mana, like 3 temporary warriors for 5 mana.
Well, the warriors don't sacrifice themselves.
Oh, they don't?
Yeah, they stick around. They just get the menace and haste until end of turn.
Oh, okay. Well, that's
Yeah,
not
they're
so
not
bad.
they're not mobilized guys who die.
So then I feel like I mean, 2 birds for 4 mana. Ugh, I don't like it.
I mean, it's not the best, but really, I mean, 2/2s for 5 is also kind of.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, honestly, I think the Abzan one is my favorite, just because you have some
Me
amount
too.
of control.
That's real good. Yeah, the ceiling can be a whole lot higher than any of the others.
Yeah, but again, that's not why you play these. You play these to go fix your mana. So these are just bonus abilities.
They're a
Right.
little bit like some of the signets from Ravnica, where they fix your mana early and then later you cash them in.
Not signets.
The like clue stones.
Thank
That's
you.
the one,
Clue
yeah,
There
Stone.
was there was another cycle that so clue stones you could trade in for 2 mana. There was another cycle later that you could trade in for 4 mana. I don't remember what they were called.
We've been playing this game a long time.
It's true, yeah. All right, then. Well, should we call it there?
I think we've done a pretty good job.
Yeah, there's a lot going on here, and I saw in the Discord, Jay Spencer said that his shop was already sold out of all Dragonstorm stuff. And
When I was seeing if we wanted to do a pre-release, Carrie was looking into it, and she's like, "This store says they're sold out of pre-release packs. This store says limited availability. This store," and I'm like, "Holy cow!" That's why I called Mike, and I'm like, "Mike, are you available?" He's like, "No," and I'm like, "That's probably for the best, because this is a popular set, at least at this point."
let's see here. Jay Spencer said this is the first time ever that his LGS hit the attendance cap for a pre-release. Like, because it had never happened before, they weren't even thinking about it. They went one over before they realized it. Alchemist said that their group showed up an hour early and they were already almost out of space. Violet said all of their stores' events were sold out. Good Lord. So wait, maybe it was in the Tarkir thread. No. So it must be earlier up that oh no, here it is. Yeah, our LGS is still completely sold out of Dragonstorm products. Scuzzo, who works at a card shop, said we still have some stuff for now, but that's been the general consensus in a lot of retailer groups that he's in. He then said something which is almost poetic, which is something for Scuzzo. It says, "It's almost as if when magic is most like magic, people get excited."
Yeah.
And this is the most magic has felt like magic in, what, a year? 2 years?
Yeah, Chifuji says in the chat, it's also a magic set that looks and feels like a magic set.
Yeah, because Brian, you said on the last episode that the last few have been, would you call them hat sets?
Yeah, and I didn't coin that phrase. I think I heard it from somebody else. But we were saying that when it was Thunder Junction, here's all these random characters that but they're all wearing cowboy hats, like Marchesa. What on earth? What on earth is like the queen of that place? Doing here with a cowboy hat on. And I mean, I've enjoyed some of the last couple sets, but it's felt a little, looking back, the detective set, the cowboy set, the
haunted
racing
house
set,
the racing set.
Yeah.
I
get that they're trying to.
We had Bloomborough in there as a nice break to get some more high fantasy.
Yeah.
But even that,
I get
was
that
Magic
they're trying
wearing...
to stretch their wings a bit, and they don't have to...
That was Magic wearing a Redwall hat.
Exactly, yeah. So while it felt closer to Magic than, the rest of them, it still wasn't quite there. Whereas this is just old school Magic goodness. Not old school, you know what I mean.
Well, in a certain sense, yeah.
Yeah, not just because they're going back to an existing Magic, classic Magic IP, but because it's the high fantasy with the dragons and the warriors and the evil wizards and
exactly.
Will they learn anything from this?
That's almost the right question. The right question is actually, will they learn the right things from this? And no, they won't, because Final Fantasy will probably blow away the Lord of the Rings sales record, and they will forget to learn anything from this.
You're probably not wrong.
But hopefully, the designers will be like, oh, and instead of giving us, a year and a half's worth of silliness in a row or however long it was, they'll scale back some of the silliness and give us good old Magic sets again,
Mm-hmm. That's the hope.
All right, then. Well, how about we stop there and do some final thoughts, because that seems pretty good.
All right.
Sounds good. I guess for my final thought, I'm alive. Glad to be here talking to you guys. Hope everybody out there is staying healthy and safe. Keep taking care of yourselves. It's last week was insane. Not only just did I feel rough, but like the pollen count was some insane number. They said that like in New York, I think it was the highest pollen count in 20 or 30 years, something like that. You walk outside, it's like yellow. But at least over here, we've had some rain the last couple days, and thank goodness for that. It's
God,
probably
last
helped quite a
week
bit.
after it rained and all of the rain, the puddles evaporated, where the puddles were was just yellow sludge residue all
Yeah.
over like my
Mhm.
parking lot here at the apartment complex. And I was like, I'm glad I don't have allergies. And it like this is making me want to throw up and it doesn't
hmm
bother me. So I feel
I never
so
used
bad
to
for
have.
people
Yeah.
with allergies.
I used to never have allergies, and I don't think mine are as bad as some people. But last week, whether it was some sort of cold that luckily I did not pass on to any family members, but I think more likely than not was probably allergies. I was out. I
I
was
kind of
rough.
doubt that
So
your 100 fever came from allergies there, Brian.
uh, probably,
Don't
but
I don't think
whatever.
that's how that works.
I don't think the pollen was helping at all. So,
Oh,
but
absolutely not.
I'm glad to be here. Took another COVID test. Have yet to test positive for COVID. Does not mean I didn't have it at some point. It didn't slip through the cracks or get a false negative. But I have yet to test positive for COVID. So, and I had all the symptoms, including I was drinking Coke, and I'm like, this tastes like water. Get me a test, because that was the first thing my sister said when she had it. She had it like early on, like March or April of 2020, was like soda tasting flavorless. So ever since then, I've been like on the lookout for that. So, but hey, I'm glad I didn't seem to have it, and I'm glad to be here talking to you guys.
I loved the internet realization that seeing a spike in negative reviews for candles and that sort of thing on the internet meant there's a COVID spike happening back in
Oh, yeah.
2020 and 2021. Like all of a
Uh-huh.
sudden, you'd see just a whole mess of negative reviews. It doesn't smell like anything. People be like, uh.
I did not. Huh. But that's what I got.
Nice. How about you there, oh bearded one?
Um, well, I found something really interesting over the weekend. One of the
Oh,
reasons that I wasn't,
really?
oh, yes, really. One of the reasons I wasn't available to go to any pre-release events was because I was helping uh, Ashley out with some stuff at her parents' house. They're gonna get their like the floors and walls of their basements resealed. So they were going through and sorting through a bunch of stuff that was down there, and Ashley was going to get some of her things that were still in the basement of her parents' house. But in some of Ashley's old things, we found, and she doesn't remember how or why this was with her stuff, an old Magic two-player quick start set. It's called Rivals, and it was printed around 4th edition. And it comes with like 2 sample decks, and that can be arranged in a specific order to play out some like scripted example games to teach people the basics of the rules and the flow of gameplay. And when I say scripted, like each player gets their own booklet, and it even gives each player like things to say, like lines to say out loud, for, this is this is what I'm doing. I'm attacking with this. I'm playing that. Okay, go. It's your turn. It even has some sections during certain turns where both the players are like thinking out loud about what would happen if they did such and such. Well, I wonder. I'm not actually attacking. I'm just thinking. What if I attacked with this? Okay, well then I'd probably block with this and it dies. So okay, well I'm not going to do that. And it had been opened and someone had gone through it, but everything was there. Both player scripts, the rules booklet, the like there was a marketing insert with a quiz with a survey you could send in and get entered into a drawing for stuff. And it's in really good condition. It was just a really neat find, and Ashley does not know why it was with her stuff.
Huh.
Crazy.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Chifuji says in all caps, someone needs to record this.
2 people playing out the scripted game. Is that what you mean?
I get the feeling
Yes.
that's what he means. And be really cheesy and hammy when you do it.
Yeah.
It sounds like an episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! Waiting to happen.
You've activated my forest card.
Exactly. I want to know how
mean,
he's activating your forest. That's pretty
activated my
impressive.
forest card. Sorry, yes. My
No,
bad.
no, it's my forest now. Curse you, Pegasus.
You guys are silly.
That's why you keep us around.
Oh, is that why? I'll be damned. So for me, assuming Mike's done.
Yes, I am.
Well, for me, I want to thank our mythic lifeguards over on patreon.com/themanapool. Al, Kim Ho, Scuzzo, Jake Jansons, Michael, Timur Hillis Haryu, Violet Moon, Jason Kaus, Casey, Jason Doan, ALK Alters, and Andrew Odie. Thank you so much. Oh yeah, I also want to point out other than this episode, we're all caught up on odds and ends. Again. It took me a full day of putting them together. Well, a full day of listening through them. And then like half a day of putting them together before that to get it all good to go. But I got them. So yay. But as for me, I was talking to the dorks earlier before in the pre-show odds and ends about how the given state of the world, or the country at least, has affected my tolerances for different kinds of fun. And yeah, I need to work on that. Like, I've been streaming Sniper Elite 3, which is so much fun, and nobody but me cares, because nobody comes to those streams. So I'm probably done streaming Sniper Elite, which is unfortunate, because I was going to run through 3 and 4, and then, pick up 5 in Resistance at some point when they go on sale, but looks like I'm not doing that, because as much fun as it is to shoot Nazis, apparently people don't want to watch you shoot Nazis. Which is a shame, because we should bring back doing bad things to Nazis. If we'd kept it up after World War II straight without stopping, we wouldn't be where we are now. Anyway. So, in the streaming thing, I'm still working on Final Fantasy VI. I just hit the World of Ruin. So the halfway point of the game, which happened a lot faster than I seem to remember from when I was a kid. It's been a long time since I played 6. But I was like, oh, is the floating continent already? Huh. I love this game so much. So for the rest of the time, we'll be getting the band back together and then saving the world. Even though the world's already been destroyed, we'll keep it from being further destroyed. Get the band back
Yeah,
together.
that's one of the themes is not giving up.
Yeah, and that's
I know
important.
I sound like a self-help booklet, but yeah.
Well, no, that's important because it's what we need to do is not give up hope in the face of everything going all to hell. Have I meteor striked or suplexed a train yet? Yes, that happens very early on. I definitely it's not a suplex, it's a pile driver, despite what it was called in the original.
That was the translation. So,
but I definitely pile drove a train. Oh yeah,
Awesome.
I've pile driven a bunch of stuff because it's funny. Like I pile drove the Ultima weapon and was like, I don't do it as often as I do the Aura Blast, just because on my controller the RB button likes to, like when you hit it, sometimes it won't hit at all, and other times it'll double tap, which is really annoying in Sniper Elite because you hold it to line up a throw and then you let go to throw something, and sometimes I'll hold it and he'll just throw, which means sometimes I throw a grenade at the wall in front of me. But anyway, I really need to get a second of these awesome controllers, one for the living room and one for in here. I can't tell you the number of times I've started a stream and been like, all right, let's play son of a bitch, the controller's still in the living room, be right back. But anyway, so I'm still playing Final Fantasy VI. We're getting, like I said, we've gotten to the second half of the game. I've still got the 2 DLCs for Power Wash Simulator that I want to run through on stream, which are you guys ready for this? It's so silly.
Ready.
Shrek and Wallace and Gromit.
Huh.
Right? So I'm going to run through those on stream because they should be fun. I did the rest of the Alice in Wonderland DLC off stream just because I needed to power wash things and relax. And there wasn't a whole lot there really for other than the Cheshire Cat sometimes appearing in the level and then later disappearing, and I don't know why. But yeah, so I'll be doing that. I need to get back to streaming Balatro sometime because I've fallen off of playing it almost entirely. Also, there's this game I played during the charity stream called Fallen Leaf. That is like an 8-bit graphics, pixel graphics style game that plays like a Mega Man mixed with, I don't know, something cute. That the little bit of it I played to get the achievement for the stream was a lot of fun. And it feels so solid. But you've got multiple characters you can switch between on the fly. So I'm going to start streaming that too. And then we'll go from there. I might give the RoboCop Rogue City game a try, see if people want to watch that or something else. I was thinking I might do a whole month of FMV games. Because as with full motion video, for those that don't know. Because they've come a long way since the Sega CD. Do what?
Like the Zelda ones.
Those aren't FMV, and also you go to hell. But no, like they've come a long way since the Sega CD era, where everything was, and Night Trap and Sewer Shark, crap like that. And I think I'm gonna play some of them because I bought a pack of something like 8 or 10 of them for, I want to say it was like $12. And some of them they're like detective games, or some of them, there's one called 5 Dates, which is completely out of my wheelhouse. That seems like a thing I'd want to do. Also, yeah, Chifuji beat me to it. Vampire Survivors, just shadow dropped a new DLC today that was free and a new update to go with it that also adds stuff. So I'm probably going to be streaming those too. So there's just a lot going on here. And at some point, I need to open up Baldur's Gate 3, make a character, and then start playing that. Do people want me to stream that? Hey, let me know if you want me to stream Baldur's Gate 3. Or if I should just play it myself. Hopefully my computer can run it. I don't think it's super hard on the hardware. Unlike Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, which I'm fairly certain now that I, pre-ordered it and bought it, I don't know if my computer can run it because Dirk's computer couldn't run it before he updated. So now I'm a little concerned that it just won't play. But anyway, I guess that's enough for me. So, everybody hang together. We'll get through it. If for no other reason, for spite. Because the people that are making things bad really need someone to rub their noses in it when it's all over. And that's what we're here for. Also, punch
True.
Nazis. It is always right to punch Nazis. Remember that guy who punched Richard Spencer? No, you don't, because he punched him and got away with it. But you remember seeing him get punched, don't you? Yeah, you do. But anyway. So this has been episode 721 of the Mana Pool. Thank you all so very much for joining us, and let us know which siege part you would pick.